You can advertise your business on Night Dreams Talk Radio, and you will be heard worldwide. Why not contact us at nightdreamstalkradio@gmail.com. Coming to you from some far point station, like a cosmic tumbleweed, both north and south of the Pleiades. Here's your host, Gary Anderson.
And I am back with James. I'm waiting right now for Sam to call in here any minute. You're listening to me, Gary, on Night Dreams Talk Radio. Our guest on the top of the hour. Yes, we're going to be talking about UFOs again with somebody very special tonight. We have William Pullin on. Now, this guy is probably one of the most noted people doing what he does. So he's going to give us a report about UFOs. We're going to talk about UFOs, and we're going to try and find out as much as what's going on in the community of ufology. Anyway, James, you still here?
I am still here. Does UFO stand for United Farmers Organization, or is it something else?
For you, certainly. Okay. Anybody else? No.
Okay, just checking.
So anyway,
I'm looking forward.
Yeah, I'm going to teach you a lesson here. Okay, right? You got a pen and paper, or you got your color crayons handy?
I got a red crayon here. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, write this 2 words. What? Not. Yeah, well, okay. I figured I'd get back at you because you walked over me. I got your footprints on my back, man.
Oh, I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah, I don't know. I asked not the producer, I asked my agent today. I said, "Where's my check?" And he said, "It's in the mail." I said, "Well, Larry, it's been in the mail for the last 2 weeks." He goes, "Well, yeah, I forgot to put a stamp on it, and I forgot to sign the check."
Did he forget to write it, too?
He probably forgot to mail it, too.
I bet. Maybe he's still thinking about it.
Well, you know how it goes.
I've been told, yeah. The old slogan, the check's in the mail, don't worry about it.
Yeah, I know. You know what was really cool is years ago when they used to sell pins that had disappearing ink. So like overnight, your writing would disappear. So you go down to, you pay your power bill when you know you don't, this is years ago, okay? Nothing that I have done recently, okay? So I don't want anybody to get the wrong idea. I did this when I was first married, so this is almost like 40 years ago. So what you do is you get one of these pins, right, where you write, and then within like 8 hours, the writing disappears. So you go down and pay your power bill, and they see you writing the check out, and you sign it right in front of them. And then you give them the check. So they go to deposit the check the next morning, and there's nothing on the check. Nothing.
That would give somebody a bad day right there. It just would.
Could you imagine? You go to a car dealership. Yeah, I want that $49,000 special. Will you accept a check? You can certainly call my bank up. They'll verify there's funds in there. Okay, so they wait a few minutes. They come back. Oh yeah, no problem. We'll take your check. You use a pen again. The ink disappears in 24 hours. So, or 8 hours. So you write the check out, but you want to do it close to closing because they might want to go hammer the check right away. So you do it before, as you know, just before the banks close. So in the morning, here's the bookkeeper looking at that check, and it's blank.
That would give somebody a really bad day because then they got to explain it to their senior officials.
So they call you up. So they call you up and they say, "Hey, your check is blank." I go, "What do you mean my check is blank? You saw me write it. You looked it over and make sure everything was right. How can you sit there and say my check is blank? What did you do to my check?"
Yeah,
I don't have time. I don't have time to get back to your dealership for a month. I'm just getting ready to catch a flight to Taiwan.
Where they make that ink. I got to get some more.
Well, Sam, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. I just don't want to actually. That was kind of a poor joke. I've never done that. Okay, but they did have years ago when they had pens that had the ink. You'd write something out and it looked like regular ink, and it would disappear as it dried.
Yeah, I remember those. Speaking of practical jokes, Gary, did the old Skeletor man make an appearance last night?
I told you what happened, but I'll tell Sam what happened because he doesn't realize what happened. Okay, we moved the 7-foot creature with a sword, the skeleton, next to my wife's bed when she was snoring last night.
You didn't do that, did you?
And when the alarm went off at 4:20 this morning, she had the loudest scream that I've ever heard. Okay, and then after the scream, it was a whole bunch of stuff I can't even repeat. But as soon as she got in the car to go to work, my son, we have a cabin on my property. My one son's living in the cabin. He calls me up and he goes, "What happened to Mom? You didn't do something to Mom, did you?" I said, "Remember I told you we were going to, me and my other son, we were going to put the skeleton, next to the bed with the sword hanging over her." Can you imagine when she woke up? I guess that would have really I think she's still going to be upset tonight.
I didn't think, I wasn't taking you very seriously last night. I didn't think you were actually going to go through with this.
Well, why not?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he was.
I'm at the age, I'm going on 68 years old, okay? When I was like 13 or 14, I could say, hey, it's immaturity, I'm young. Now I can say it's senility, it's coming on, and I'm being senile.
You could at least videotape that.
I
know, we wouldn't do that, would you?
Oh, no. She would kill me because she sleeps naked. So, I mean, she would be, standing there. No, I couldn't. No. If she would have been in a nightgown, I probably would have thought about doing that and then put it up on Facebook.
I get a feeling repercussions are going to be coming to you in some shape or form, Mr. Gary.
It's not the weekend yet, guys.
Yeah.
But can you imagine, though, you're sound asleep, right? And you didn't even know I bought this. So all of a sudden you wake up and you see a 7-foot skeleton standing over you. Okay? With this sword. Yeah, like it's getting ready to swing at you. What would you think? You're not quite all the way awake when you first wake up. When you first wake up, you're in a daze.
Yeah, I'm probably going to attack or run, do something. That's for sure. I'm not going to hang around and adjust my eyes.
Yeah, in 40-some years, I never heard her ever scream anywhere near that loud. Even when I bought that last motorcycle, she didn't even scream near as loud as what she did this morning.
How about from the trip from the camp up there you came from where the rock hit the car?
No, she didn't even scream as loud as what she did this morning. This was like the number one thing.
Oh, Lord. That was big then.
Oh, what can I say?
I can just picture the whole story.
I don't know. I wouldn't recommend it, guys. So don't get a skeleton with a sword and, sneak it over the bed at night. But I have to be honest with you. Looking at it, I've been laughing at it. Every time I look at the skeleton here, which is staring at me. I will never come in the studio, though, after I had a drink or two. Because I'll tell you, this thing is kind of creepy.
I'm telling you, you're going to forget about it one of these days and turn around and poop your pants or something, I'll tell you.
No, I'm not going to do that. But I remember one of the Twilight Zone series where the guy had all these, wax figures that decided that they were going to come to life and, off people. So, I mean, maybe some DNA from an alien might come on to this thing. Hey, Sam, did you hear the part where I mentioned about they're teaching rats to drive cars?
Oh, I heard that. It was kind of funny because I was actually watching something similar to that today with the chimpanzees, and it was the 5 smartest chimpanzees or apes or, as far as what they were able to do. And it was just amazing to see some of them. The one that impressed me the most was they had a screen, a computer screen, where they showed all these different blocks in random order, but they had numbers and, filled in where the blocks were. And the chimp's job was, after the numbers disappeared, was to go ahead and press them in the same order that the numbers indicate that it should do it. That chimp was doing it. I mean, like, more so than humans could even do. It was absolutely astounding. So it doesn't surprise me about rats driving around in small cars. I guess we might see that on the highway someday.
Well, yeah, but what was interesting is that they were talking about the rats actually show road rage. So you had like these 3 or 4 rats driving through this course, and if one of them screwed up, the other rats would get upset.
Oh, I didn't hear that part.
Yeah, I mean, there it is. I mean, I mentioned that. Rats actually showed road rage. So I bet, could you imagine how long it would teach a rat to actually get into a little car, open up the door, get into it, put their little paws on the wheel, and hit a lever and start going? It's crazy.
Rat road rage. That would be something to see right there.
No,
Wouldn't want to get between that.
Yeah, see, people think rats are only good for one thing, getting into garbage. And actually, they probably could be better drivers than a lot of people on the freeway.
Yeah.
I think animals,
I wouldn't.
I mean, animals are a lot more smarter than people give them credit for,
Oh, I think so. What I want to see is a Bigfoot get behind a car and take off.
I think it's already been done, but I can't confirm that for sure. It's an unconfirmed report.
Really?
I'm just joking.
Well, you never know. I mean, bears can learn to drive a car. I've seen it in the circus once when I was a kid.
Well, that's true.
Look how many reports you've had this week of bears getting into cars and taking bubble gum and candy and tearing them up and all kind of craziness.
Or going in that poor guy's garage. They had a case of beer. He was going to have his buddies probably over that weekend. Can't have his buddies over because the bear got drunk in his garage and drank up all the beer.
I already told you about the elk that opened my fridge up outside and made their way into opening the certain little drawers and things like that, and being able to pull the sandwich lids off and everything, and just have a heyday with their with the food in my fridge. I mean, it was just I never figured they could figure that out, but they did.
Yeah. Well, see, we don't give animals enough credit for their intelligence, do we?
Mm-mm.
Well, so tonight we're going to be talking on the show about aliens and UFOs and reports and, black holes and all that stuff. Do UFOs use the black hole to come through, or do they come through some other type of form?
Or maybe they're interdimensional beings that come. They just appear out of nowhere through an interdimension that kind of coincides with ours, and they can come and go as they please. These are all theories.
Yeah, well, it's just interesting, that all these. What's interesting is that every year in September, UFO reports drop off the map, like they almost hardly any of them. And it's just growing. It's not dying. It's not getting less of them. And like we were talking earlier, they're showing up in states all over that the people normally don't see, much of UFOs. Now all of a sudden they're being seen. UK, their sightings in the UK has gone way up also.
They have. And it's funny you say that about September, because I got to tell you, I've been getting a lot more reports this month than I did, say, last month. And I don't know if that's consistent like that, but you're right, though. It does seem like it's a spike. And not only that, the cattle mutilations, it seems like those are popping up all over, too.
Well, that's it normally dies down, but it's all of a sudden it's spiking, it's going up. And it's a lot of reports lately of cattle mutilations. This new one you put out today, where was that one at, James? Do you remember?
I don't. I'll take a look here again, but I can't remember where that. It might have been just in general